This here is Boom Studios and IDW Publishing's Godzilla vs. the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2 comic, issue number 4. Now that the Rangers have kaiju power, they begin to fight off Rita and Astronema's forces. Billy says that the energies they borrowed from the kaiju are almost impossible to contain, so that's how much of a boost the Rangers have received. Whilst I have been very critical of the artwork in this series, and I didn't like all of the Rangers' kaiju suits, I must say the action scenes here are not bad at all. The fights are not as messy as in previous issues, so this is a good improvement for the end game. I wish we could have had clearer fight scenes like these earlier on in the series. While these Rangers work on defending the command center, Jet Jaguar, the White and Green Ranger are inside Astronema's station, searching for the imprisoned Rangers. The mission is to find the Rangers and get out before anyone realises the good guys are there. So, a stealth mission. After taking out some Quantrons, the White Ranger and Jet Jaguar find the power coins from Rangers from across the multiverse. Rita and Astronema are draining their energies. Just as Saba says this, the White Ranger is struck from behind. It was Goldar who'd attacked the White Ranger. It's actually good to see him here as he's been rather quiet in this series. Goldar begins to hit Jet Jaguar, but the robot is able to land a hit on Goldar's face. In fact, it manages to break one of Goldar's teeth. This angers Goldar and he thrusts Jet Jaguar's head into the ground. The White Ranger then calls for Tommy. We see here that Tommy has been infused with kaiju power too. He has Godzilla's energy, which makes sense because of the design of the Dragon Zord and Godzilla looking so similar. In terms of the suit, it looks like a Ranger suit still, so it's not as crazy as the other Rangers' kaiju suits. Tommy tells Jet Jaguar and the White Ranger to get clear of Goldar, as he's not sure what kind of power he's dealing with. He charges up like Godzilla would and unleashes an atomic ray-like attack on Goldar, which knocks him out. And with that, they set about gathering up the power coins and finding the imprisoned Rangers. Back on Earth, Jason calls on the team to wrap up their fight on the ground. They bring together their kaiju-powered weapons and form the Kaiju Power Blaster. And so the Rangers defeat the bad guys, but only for a moment. Rita then uses her magic wand to make monsters grow. Now with the enemies giant-sized, Jason calls on the Kaiju Zords. This is probably the best scene in the whole comic. The Kaiju Zords don't look bad at all. They look rather cool actually. It's a shame we didn't see decent Zord action scenes earlier in the series. I would have loved to have seen more of the Kaiju Zords in action. Rita is angry that the Kaiju Zords are defeating the monsters on the ground. The intruder alarm goes off on the station, so Astronema tells Rita to sit this one out as she's going to take care of the interlopers and the Rangers. In fact, she'll take care of everything as she's not been impressed with Rita's tactics. The computers have been wrecked by Goldar, but with a bit of time, the White Ranger manages to find where the imprisoned Rangers are. However, Saba says it will be difficult to reach them with the alarms blaring. They'll need a distraction. So, Tommy takes out his dagger and summons his Kaiju Zord. Of course, it's going to be a Godzilla Zord. So, that's the plan of getting in and out unnoticed out the window. The White Ranger tells Tommy not to bring down the entire space station on the Rangers. Tommy tells him not to worry, as he'll keep his destruction focused. Back on Earth, the Kaiju Zords are still in battle against the monsters. They just about finish up, but then, the Rangers' scanners detect incoming energy signatures. The signatures belong to the Psycho Rangers. They begin to attack the command center, and the building starts to fall down. Alpha says it doesn't look good, but Jason tells him not to worry, as they've got a few more tricks up their sleeve. The Rangers link up and form the Kaiju Megazord. Once again, this doesn't look bad at all. It's a pretty cool design. We don't get to see it in action though, as this is the end of the issue. Well, after my heavy criticisms with the last issue, I'm glad this one was more enjoyable. The artwork is still weak in some places, and I still think some of the drawings of the characters are a bit out of place. It's like some panels belong to a manga rather than this Godzilla Power Rangers crossover comic. However, there are panels and pages where the artwork have massively improved, and therefore make it more enjoyable to look at. You can see the details and you can therefore understand what's going on in the action scenes. The other big criticism I had of past issues was the pacing of the story. Now that we've reached the end of the series, things have actually slowed down a little, which is quite nice. I would say I've been curious this whole time as to what all these Rangers from the multiverse look like. I saw ninja power coins earlier. And also, the key words regarding the powers are power coins. So are all the Rangers across the multiverse just Mighty Morphin? There are no Zeo Rangers or Space Rangers? I hope we get to see the imprisoned Rangers just to satisfy my curiosity. As we already know, this series is part of the Boom Studios Power Rangers multiverse. It makes little sense for every Ranger imprisoned to be a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Still, this was an enjoyable read, and I feel like the best writing and artwork were both saved until the end of the series. On that note, I hope the positives of this issue carry over into the next.